Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. Jim Beckwith reporting here at End Times Prophecy News. October 6th, Sunday, a beautiful day in Georgia. But this corrupt Obama Judge Amy Berman Jackson, I think she thinks she's President of the United States. She is the most corrupt judge we have in the United States. She orders the White House to preserve records of Trump's dealings with foreign leaders. It's amazing. If anyone thinks they're too big for their britches, it'd be her. In an unusual move, federal judge Amy Berman Jackson on Thursday ordered the White House to preserve records of President Trump's dealings with foreign leaders. Where was she when Obama was appointed her as president on preserving those records? But there is nothing in the Constitution or the president's duties to do such things. In fact, it's his right to discuss things with other nations in privacy for the security of the nation. This is amazing. It's just almost every time she makes another order, it's anti-constitutional. Activist? She's beyond activist. She's anti-American judge. Jackson, who is an Obama appointee, issued the order on Thursday and demanded the White House not destroy records of meetings, phone calls, and other communications with foreign leaders. Jackson's order is in response to a lawsuit brought by the radical left-wing watchdog group Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington, which I reported this before. The order by Jackson appears to cover President Trump directly. Don't be surprised if it only covers Trump. Although it doesn't mention Trump by name, it covers all defendants, and President Trump is one of the two defendants named in the lawsuit. This is a highly controversial and unusual move by a federal judge. The suit, which was filed in May before the Trump-Ukraine scandal created by Schiff and a deep state CIA officer, accused the Trump White House of failing to uphold the Presidential Records Act. Created by who? Pencil neck. Again. The corrupt judge also addresses President Trump's electronic system designed to keep his calls secure and out of the hands of the deep state leakers. Jackson's orders all records of efforts by White House or other executive branch officials to return, claw back, lock down, or recall White House records about Trump's dealings with foreign leaders. In light of the whistleblower, lawyers representing Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington on Tuesday asked Judge Jackson for a temporary restraining order using reports from the Trump-Ukraine whistleblower as evidence. Trump is trying to hide his phone calls with foreign leaders from a records-keeping database. And what is the odds that this lawsuit from the Responsibility and Ethics in Washington, a purely far-left socialist group, that they would receive Amy Berman Jackson, the most corrupt far-left judge in any kind of a lawsuit? Oh, it's 100 out of 100. Why? Because the deep state made sure of it. That's right. The Deep State Department responded on Wednesday. The Justice Department responded on Wednesday in a court filing that the White House was already preserving many of the records mentioned in the plaintiff's lawsuit. Justice Department lawyers said in a court filing Wednesday that the White House has already taken steps to secure many of the records and the plaintiffs expressed concern about. The filing also suggested that in response to the request for the restraining order, White House lawyers broadened an existing instruction to preserve records of Trump's foreign interactions. Justice Department attorneys said those actions met a request by the judge to moot the group's request for a restraining order. Jackson appeared to agree. After a telephone conference Wednesday, she issued a notice saying that the request for a restraining order was denied because it was moot in light of the government's assurances. However, the following day, she issued an order insisting that 6 categories of records related to the suit be preserved. That wasn't good enough. The deep state told her, you have to do that. You have to resist that moot in light of the government assurances. No, you have to make a demand, just like the Democrats are making a demand to send out letters, not subpoenas, for their impeachment inquiry. Jackson's decision to issue an order despite the pledge to the court to maintain the records is rather unusual. In most instances, judges simply note such a pledge and say they assume that the parties involved will abide by it. The order means anyone destroying White House records it covers could be subject to sanction or even criminal charge for contempt of court. But if any Democrat who loves Obama and hates Trump and any of the 17 intelligence agencies lies or is in contempt of court, oh, we don't do nothing. So that's the sick news. And Rudy Giuliani goes off on the media and wants to go after me so they don't have to deal with their honey boy Biden. I think Giuliani's onto something again. Trump attorney and former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani joined Howard Kurt on Old Media Buzz on Sunday morning in an explosive interview. Rudy brought his A game again. Rudy brought along with him dozens of media reports on the Biden crime family dealings in Ukraine, China, and Romania now. Oh, the yarn ball just rolled a little bit farther and unraveled a little more, didn't it? Rudy went after Howard Kurtz hard during the interview for the fake news media refusal to look into many Biden family crimes and pay-for-play scandals over the past decades. And Howard Kurtz is not an anti-Trumper at all. If it were a Republican, the Washington Press Corps, including you, Howard, would have gone crazy. We would have had 3 months of investigations of that. Instead, when it happens with Biden, they cover it up. They cover up the people they like. They are now going after me personally because they want to get me the messenger so they don't have to deal with their honey boy Biden. He did bring his A game. I missed that. I didn't know that Howard Kurt was that bad. Oh, things are looking bad for the deep state. Speaking of, deep state attorney linked to Schumer and Hillary confirms he is now representing multiple whistleblowers in connection to July 25th Trump call. The war gets worse. As we reported in September, the deep state whistleblower who spoke out on President Trump's call to the Ukrainian president in July, but who was not on the call, hired a former Schumer and Hillary Clinton staffer, Andrew Bakaj, to represent him or her. Andrew Bakaj, pictured here, has deep ties with D.C. Democrats. He donated to Joe Biden's presidential campaign. His first whistleblower client went to Adam Schiff's office to plot strategy before he filed his complaint. The first whistleblower is the partisan CIA operative who was spying on President Trump in the White House. His complaints fell apart after President Trump released his phone transcript with the Ukrainian president and after former envoy Kurt Volker's testimony on Thursday. On Sunday morning, attorney Andrew Bakaj tweeted out that his firm is representing multiple whistleblowers in connection to the July 12, 2019 call between President Trump and Ukrainian President Zelensky. Of course, the deep state leaked news of this whistleblower to the liberal media before the announcement day. Just leak. And there's the tweet from Andrew Bakaj. Now, don't start thinking that he's not purely 100% American, okay? That would just be a conspiracy theory just because of his last name, okay? He wants to make America great again. He wants to get to the bottom of the truth, okay? Thank you for listening, and don't forget, for only 66 cents a day, you can donate and support my news and ministry service, which amounts to about $20 a month. PayPal is on the front of my YouTube channel where it says donate to End Times Prophecy News, and my P.O. Box is 16 Midway, Georgia 31320. Thank you for listening.